Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. I am your host, Jenny. Today, we're shining a spotlight on Frédéric Grangié from Chanel, who is reaching for the stars with his latest high jewelry collection inspired by Hollywood's golden age and celestial motifs. These dazzling pieces blend craftsmanship, innovation, and storytelling, making luxury jewelry more accessible and emotionally resonant, perfect for passing down through generations. Please stay tuned for more details. Next, Hong Kong is stepping up as a global financial hub with a new cooperation plan between Shanghai and Hong Kong. This agreement boosts cross-border trading and explores digital yuan applications, supporting China's Go Global strategy and helping mainland companies expand internationally. It's a significant move to deepen financial integration and strengthen Shanghai's position on the world stage. Keep watching for more insights. Lastly, in Sydney, the push for high-rise living continues as the Canterbury Bankstown Council approves plans for up to 4,000 new apartments, soaring up to 62 meters high. While some residents are concerned about losing local character, the move aims to boost housing density around metro stations and meet growing demand. Stay with us as we follow how these developments reshape the city landscape. South China Morning Post vividly captures Chanel's masterful approach to high jewelry through Frédéric Grangié's passionate perspective. Grangié, a seasoned industry veteran, emphasizes the importance of craftsmanship and innovation, describing his role as transforming visionary designs into tangible masterpieces. He proudly highlights Chanel's unique position as a fashion house rather than a traditional jeweler, which allows it to craft a living patrimony that evolves with new themes and stories. The collection Reach for the Stars exemplifies this ethos, drawing inspiration from Hollywood's golden age and Coco Chanel's own adventures in Tinseltown, blending celestial motifs like comets with the symbolic wings representing freedom. Grangié's obsession with the Golden Triangle, a fusion of exclusive design, exceptional craftsmanship, and rare gemstones, underscores the collection's significance as a new foundation in Chanel's high jewelry legacy, destined to last through generations, much like the brand's historic 1932 diamond collection. The South China Morning Post also details how Chanel's Reach for the Stars collection embodies glamour and timeless storytelling, rooted in Coco Chanel's Hollywood experience and her revolutionary approach to elegance. Every piece, from the playful "Take My Breath Away" to the ethereal Wings of Chanel necklace, is designed to captivate on red carpets and elevate the wearer's sense of freedom and lightness. The motif of wings, inspired by Coco's maxim about nurturing one's innate potential, symbolizes liberation and movement, expressed through innovative techniques like openwork and asymmetrical stone settings. While only a select few will experience the exquisite craftsmanship firsthand, the advent of social media has democratized access to these marvels, allowing millions to marvel at Chanel's high jewelry artistry. Grangié sees these collections as dreams in their purest form, timeless treasures that transcend their physical form and serve as a testament to Chanel's ongoing pursuit of reaching for the stars. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post reports on the strategic collaboration between Shanghai and Hong Kong, positioning Hong Kong as a launchpad for Chinese companies' global ambitions. The agreement expands the decade-old Connect program, enhancing cross-border trading of stocks, bonds, ETFs, and gold, and integrating digital yuan transactions. Officials emphasize that this partnership aims to deepen financial integration, support the Go Global strategy of mainland firms, and bolster China's resilience amid geopolitical tensions. The plan reflects a shared vision to transform Shanghai and Hong Kong into world-class financial centers, leveraging their roles as international hubs for managing renminbi assets and attracting mainland companies seeking to list abroad. With Hong Kong's thriving stock market and increasing mainland investments, this initiative signals a new phase of financial cooperation, positioning China to better navigate global economic uncertainties and capitalize on emerging opportunities. The Sydney Morning Herald reports on Sydney's evolving urban landscape, where suburbs like Wiley Park and Punchbowl are set for dramatic transformation through high-density development. The Canterbury Bankstown City Council's alternative plan proposes replacing low-rise homes with buildings up to 18 stories tall, extending up to 62 meters around metro stations, an ambitious move that has sparked heated debate. Critics like independent councillor Barbara Corey compare the proposed density to Hong Kong's Happy Valley, warning that the plan risks eroding the suburb's character and community spirit. Supporters, including Labour's David Walsh, argue that increased housing is essential for future growth, emphasizing the benefits of walkable streets, open spaces, and improved infrastructure. Despite protests from independents and Greens, the Council's decision reflects a broader push toward urban densification and transit-oriented development, with plans also underway for neighboring areas like Lakemba, Belmore, Marrickville, and Gordon, each proposing taller buildings and more homes to meet Sydney's growing housing demands. South China Morning Post reports that the economic landscape in Greater China is facing mounting challenges, particularly within the commercial real estate and financial sectors. Alex Partners survey indicates an impending surge in restructuring activities across Asia, with Greater China expected to lead the charge due to ongoing high interest rates, tighter credit, and declining asset values. Hong Kong's property market exemplifies this distress, as a wave of distressed sales and asset disposals at significant losses reflect property owners' struggles to meet debt obligations amid rising vacancies and falling rental incomes. Notable cases include the default of prominent developer David Chan Ping-chi, who has been forced to offload assets at substantial discounts, highlighting the severity of the sector's financial strain. The region's high vacancy rates and cautious investor sentiment are creating a perfect storm, particularly in Hong Kong, where the property sector's vulnerabilities threaten to deepen further in 2025. South China Morning Post also details the geopolitical tensions surrounding CK Hutchison's $23 billion port stake sale, which is embroiled in complex international disputes. The deal involves port assets at the Panama Canal, a strategic nexus in global trade, and faces potential rejection from Chinese and Panamanian authorities due to security and anti-monopoly concerns amid U.S.-China rivalry. Experts warn that approval hinges on delicate negotiations, with China's geopolitical interests and U.S. influence potentially forcing the deal's collapse or prompting alternative strategies such as partial asset disposal or reorganization. The situation underscores the broader geopolitical contest over critical infrastructure, with China poised to retaliate if the deal is blocked, possibly by strengthening port facilities elsewhere in Latin America or leveraging its control over rare earth resources. The uncertainty exemplifies how international trade and investment are increasingly entangled with geopolitical power plays, complicating cross-border transactions. South China Morning Post highlights the inspiring story of Alfred Yu, a 67-year-old retiree from Hong Kong who exemplifies a vibrant, active, and fulfilling retirement. After stepping away from his career in design education, Yu embraced new passions, cycling, running, and exploring Hong Kong's hidden corners, transforming his leisure time into adventures that connect him with others. His love for maps and exploration led him to organize free guided tours, sharing the city's lesser-known pathways with a growing community of locals and tourists. Beyond physical activity, Yu discovered an artistic talent during the pandemic, creating hundreds of paintings now displayed in local cafes and restaurants, which he shares through community initiatives. His dedication to lifelong learning, teaching art and Tai Chi for free, and nurturing social bonds exemplifies a holistic approach to aging, one rooted in continuous growth, community engagement, and the joy of sharing talents, offering a compelling blueprint for a meaningful and joyful retirement. South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong developers are urging the government to halt the controversial reclamation project near Lantau Island, which involves building 3 artificial islands. This scheme, known as the Lantau Tomorrow Project, has been criticized for potentially depressing land prices in the northern metropolis, a major development aimed at transforming 30,000 hectares into a vibrant economic hub with millions of residents and hundreds of thousands of jobs. Louis Longhornbayou, a key figure in the real estate sector, emphasized that the government should clearly declare a pause or a permanent halt to the artificial islands, arguing that uncertainty over this project is causing developers to adopt a more conservative stance in their bids for land in the northern metropolis. While authorities have signaled a focus on the latter project, with some officials hinting at legal amendments to expedite development, the ongoing feasibility studies for the islands, costing hundreds of millions of Hong Kong dollars, continue to stir debate about the city's land supply strategy amid its fiscal challenges and Beijing's push for rapid urban expansion. The South China Morning Post also highlights the opening of new dining venues in Hong Kong, blending tradition with modernity. Chinatown at the landmark has reopened after a 2-month renovation, showcasing an elegant fusion of heritage and contemporary design. Chef Minix Chung introduces a menu that celebrates the diverse flavors of Cantonese, Sichuan, and Beijing cuisines, with signature dishes like roasted squab prepared using the traditional peeper roasting method, infused with aged tangerine peel for a tender, aromatic experience. Meanwhile, Lin Hyung Lao, a historic Hong Kong tea house, has expanded beyond its central roots, opening a 24-hour dim sum outlet in Sim Sha Sui, complete with vintage teaware and classic pushcart service, complemented by live DJ nights that elevate the nostalgic yum cha experience. These openings reflect Hong Kong's vibrant culinary scene, where tradition and innovation coexist, attracting both locals and tourists seeking authentic yet contemporary dining experiences. The South China Morning Post also discusses the opaque nature of recent U.S.-China trade talks held in London, where high-level officials from both nations emerged without a clear public statement. This silence signals underlying tensions and a strategic standoff over critical supply chain choke points, especially concerning export controls on rare earth elements vital for high-tech industries and military applications. Experts interpret this as a shift from aggressive tariffs to a more nuanced contest over strategic resources, with both sides maintaining their leverage and cautious about revealing concessions. While some believe the negotiations could mark a turning point in the long-standing trade war, others warn that deep-rooted strategic differences remain unresolved, and future talks are likely to be protracted and complex. The geopolitical uncertainty is compounded by global issues such as regional conflicts, economic headwinds, and domestic unrest, which collectively threaten to prolong the rivalry and impact global markets, with analysts suggesting that neither side has yet played their strongest cards in this intricate diplomatic chess game. According to the South China Morning Post, China has strongly condemned the United States' efforts to replace Huawei telecommunications equipment in Panama, framing it as a politicized move aimed at undermining Chinese influence in Latin America. Beijing's foreign ministry dismissed U.S. claims that Huawei's technology posed security threats, emphasizing that China's relationships in the region are based on mutual respect. The U.S. initiative, which involves a $8 million project to replace Huawei towers with American technology, was met with resistance from Panama's government, with President José Raúl Mulino criticizing the U.S. for overstepping sovereignty and warning against turning Panama into a battleground of U.S.-China rivalry. The dispute highlights the broader geopolitical contest in Latin America, with Panama caught in the middle of competing influences, as local officials and analysts underscore the importance of maintaining independent foreign policy and managing the economic and diplomatic repercussions of U.S. and Chinese activities. Nikkei Asia reports on the fierce competition between China and the U.S. in the autonomous vehicle industry, especially in robotaxi services. Chinese companies like Baidu, Pony.ai, and WeRide have made significant progress, with Baidu's Apollo Go fleet providing over 1.4 million rides in the first quarter. Meanwhile, American firms such as Waymo are expanding rapidly, offering paid autonomous rides in San Francisco and planning to grow their fleets substantially. Tesla is preparing to launch its own robotaxi in Austin, Texas, using modified Model Y vehicles, signaling a critical milestone despite delays and less futuristic designs initially promised. Both Chinese and U.S. companies are eyeing international markets, with Chinese firms planning expansion into Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Europe, while Tesla and Waymo are exploring opportunities in Japan and beyond. The industry's growth is driven by technological advances, falling costs, and regulatory support, but geopolitical factors, such as U.S. restrictions on Chinese autonomous tech and China's data export controls, could influence the global race for dominance in autonomous mobility. The Sydney Morning Herald details how Victorian taxpayers are subsidising metro trains to the tune of nearly $500 million, shielding the private operator from the financial fallout of pandemic-related declines in passenger numbers. Despite a 22% drop in train ridership since 2019, Metro's profits have soared, thanks to contract mechanisms that top up revenue when fare income falls below predetermined levels. The government's $489 million support package over 4 years is part of a broader strategy to sustain public transport amid Victoria's mounting debt, which is projected to reach nearly $200 billion by 2029. Critics argue that such subsidies distort market incentives, with some suggesting that Metro should bear more of the financial risks associated with reduced patronage, especially since the company's profits have rebounded sharply post-pandemic. The debate underscores ongoing tensions between public funding priorities and private sector responsibilities in managing essential infrastructure, especially when private operators are protected from the full economic impact of extraordinary events like COVID-19. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.